Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout for Lottie Loves Paper. I'm using the Garden Party collection by Maggie Holmes and I'm making a boy themed layout with this collection. So of course this collection is very floral and outdoorsy and full of pretty motifs and things, and I think lots of people think that it's just for girls, but I have definitely pulled out some bits that work for my boys. I have two boys, so you know, ultimately I don't mind using pink on a boy layout. I know lots of people do though, but I tend to scrap by season or by where we are. So if we're outside, then flowers with pink in them go perfectly well, whether I have boys in my photo or girls. So I think it's just a case of, you know, being comfortable with whatever you want to do and what you feel comfortable with. But I generally don't mind having pink flowers on a layout about my boys. But I know lots of people do have an issue with that. Like some people have a major issue with that. So I just wanted to show you today that today you can use the Garden Party collection for boys. So I have a dinosaur themed layout, which obviously there are no dinosaurs present in the Maggie Holmes Garden Party collection, but there are today. So I've used a cut file by Marie, so by Peartree Cutfiles, and I'm sure she made it just for me. I feel honoured that she made this cut file because I always call my boy my Toddlersaurus because he does wreak havoc and chaos wherever he goes. He stomps through my house and anywhere we go, and just does totally create havoc. And he is completely wild and feral. I call him my Toddlersaurus all the time. So anyway, this Toddlersaurus cut file, I do feel that Marie made it just especially for me. I feel honoured that this was made because this is something I say all the time. Of course, she didn't really make it just for me, but yeah. I cut the cut file in white, and I've backed it in the teal heart print. Now, I know that some people may be very cross with me, but this is the back of the cut apart sheet. But I was lucky that I had two sheets of the cut apart sheet, so I didn't feel bad using the print on one side and keeping the other paper for the cut apart elements. So I've done that. Okay, so I have taken a large piece of the Garden Party paper, the green one. It has yellow flowers on the other side. Normally I would feel like I should fussy cut those. However, they're all very overlapping and they're not as good as for fussy cutting as some of the other prints. So I was not too worried about using the other side of that print and not fussy cutting out all those flowers. You can see it there. It's a crazy paper. It's really, really overlapping. So yeah, I've gone for the green side. And then I've also pulled out this paper here, a strip of this paper, which is kind of white and has blue stripes on it. Very pale and pretty. But again, the fact that it's blue goes really well with the green. So I'm going for a kind of like blue and green colour scheme. So I have torn a large section of the green and then I've torn another section of the blue, and I'm just trying to figure out how best to do this. Initially I thought that I would have my white section at the top of the layout, but when I turned it round to stick the layers down, I really liked it on the side, but I didn't want it on the right. I wanted it on the left, so I just whizzed it back round, and I've now got the white area on the left side, and this looks really good. I'm really happy with how this looks now, and I'm really happy that this has worked out this way because I hadn't planned it this way, and I'm going to like tuck my photos into the layers. So yeah. Okay, so I've just splattered my background with white paint because it's a very dark green background and I just wanted to lighten it up a bit with some white splatters, so I've just done that and let it dry. Now just stuck my Toddlersaurus cut file in place, so it's all backed. I should say about the Toddlersaurus cut file, it comes with the title and it comes with two dinosaurs and they are separate to the cut file, but I moved my one of the dinosaurs up and welded it to the title itself, so I could cut it all out in one piece. But they are separate if you want to cut them separately. And there is another dinosaur as well, but I haven't used him. I couldn't fit him on. There's too much going on this layout. Okay, so we are actually, in these photos, we are actually hunting for dinosaurs at our local dinosaur park. So this photo of my little boy, he does actually have a dinosaur basically on his shoulder in the background. So that's cute. And then the bottom photo is of him sitting next to the time clock, which talks all about dinosaurs. So even though I call my baby, he's not a baby, but my baby, Toddlersaurus all the time because of his nature. Today's photo is actually, we're actually got dinosaurs in the photo. So, so this works really well. Okay, so I have fussy cut a large flower from the vellum, the speciality vellum from the Garden Party collection, and just layered that behind my lower photo. I've also fussy cut out a load of the blue flowers. So there's a whole sheet of flowers that have that are all blues, and I have used a lot of that paper for a frame on a different layout. But I had all the middle section remaining, so I just spent some time fussy cutting out a load of the flowers, and then I have used those to layer around my layout. So I've got a whole bunch of them under the bottom corner of the lower photo, and then I've put some at the top of the photos. I've got some coming out of the back of the dinosaur, and then I've tucked a few little ones around my title as well. Whenever I have a dinosaur layout, I always feel like I should make my layout seem like we're in the undergrowth. So I always like to have flowers or leaves, lots of leaves generally on my photos with dinosaurs in, because they're always, they live in kind of areas where there's lots of trees, right? Or certainly on the Jurassic Park films they do. And certainly at our local dinosaur park as well, they all live in the woodland areas. So I always like to have flowers and leaves on my photos about dinosaurs. So I'm going to punch some leaves later on, but the flowers for now work really well, and they just give a bit of blue to the layout, and while still being floral and like woodlandy, they give me great layers as well. I also love the vellum flowers from the speciality sheet, just because it brings something different to the mix. They're kind of like black and white or grey rather than colourful, and they're just great for layering. Okay, so I'm having a look through the ephemera to see if I can find any bits and pieces that I might want to use. I have just tucked a piece of ephemera behind my lower photo there, just to give it like a paper layout. I've already stuck my photos, but I only tack them in place by putting tape along the bottom edge of the photo. So I can easily remove them, so I can tuck in other layers. So I've just put a piece of ephemera there. And then I've used another one to the left of the top photo as well. That's a black frame that I've just cut in half, and I've used half behind the photo, and then the other half I'm going to save for later and use for a different layout. I have also fussy cut some tickets and words and things from the other paper with all the, I don't know what it's called, the paper with all the tickets all over it. So I have fussy cut out a load of those, not loads, but a few of them. Obviously, picking out the blue ones and the green ones to go with my colour scheme. I've just layered a few down the bottom of the photo there. I've got one that says dream, and then I've got two kind of plain light green ones as well that have just been used as layers behind that. I'm just getting everything stuck down, making sure that everything is stuck. It's like I say quite a few times in these videos, I regularly forget to stick down the photos. I start off with them just tacked at the bottom, and then I realise I need to add some more adhesive behind them at the end of the layout. So just coming in now with a few bits, a few words and labels from the Maggie Holmes Garden Party sticker book. I've got over on the dinosaur, I've got the word hello, I've got documented and captured, and I'm just adding some to my photo as well that say, you make me smile, I love this, and adventure. Just a little green sticker circle over on the right hand side there, and then I've added a little butterfly from the sticker book as well at the top left of the layout too. So I'm just kind of bringing in anything that works for like outdoorsy stuff, so any plants, flowers, butterflies, anything like that works really well on a layout like this. Have I added it yet? I've also added a cupcake to the bottom corner of one of the photos, and that's because we had cupcakes that day while we were there. So that's, might look like a completely random embellishment to anyone else, but for me, it works. Okay, I'm pretty much got everything stuck in place. I'm liking how it's looking. I need to add some little bits and pieces. So I want to add those leaves I mentioned earlier. So I have grabbed myself my leaf punch and I've pulled out a piece of blue paper. It's kind of like a teal blue, and I'm going to punch some of those and add them. I've added two little gold hearts, which are the Maggie Holmes Garden Party hearts, glittery hearts from that collection. And I've just added a couple of those in. Now coming in with a sprinkling of sequins. So this is a Spiegelbaum Scraps mix called Holiday Magic. It's actually a Christmas collection, but it's blues and greens and it works brilliantly with this colour scheme. So I'm going to use those. I've just punched my leaves as well, and I'm going to start tucking those into all the places where I have flowers. So I'm basically just extending the floral sections by adding these blue leaves in place as well. And I say I just want to make it feel like we're in the undergrowth, and having lots of leaves works in that way for me. Okay, so just getting all of my sequins stuck in place and my leaves. So I'm adding the leaves just with wet glue. I'd like really to raise them on foam pads, but they're quite tiny, so I'm just going to stick them in place, but just stick the bottom section and then leave the top section kind of floating, is that the word? Unstuck, so that it has so that it won't be flat on the page. It will still have some dimension. Okay, so just getting all my sequins stuck down. I had a rogue white paint splatter that I didn't like, so I just made sure that my sequins were carefully placed over the top of the white splatter that I didn't really like. It was just too big and was a funny shape. So I've just covered that one up. Sequins are great to cover a multitude of sins, aren't they? So just did the shape test there and a couple of sequins fell off. So just re-sticking those down. Yeah, I'm nearly done. I just want to write in my journaling. So I decided to write directly onto the green background, which was probably a mistake because it's a bit lost in the pattern, but I've used a thicker pen and it is readable, but it's not overly clear, so that's a bit of a shame. But I could replace it with a white label or something, but I think I'm just going to leave it as it is because it is readable. I found a couple more leaves that were not stuck in place, so just got those stuck down. And that's me done. I love this layout. I'm so happy that I managed to make a really boy-themed layout with the Garden Party collection. So it has dinosaurs, it has a boy on it, it's blues and greens, and it's great fun. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the layout. That was Nikki Rowland for Lottie Loves Paper.